Okay, we're back. And we back. And we back. And we back. So yeah, Arabella with Smile at Death. Yeah, you can definitely make that work. Alicia who smiles at death. That, I mean, just the combo of those words together goes really well. All right, let's keep. I mean, Atraxa. Okay, I don't think I've ever played Alicia. It does give you 3 color. Oh, Alicia's a CDH commander. Is she not? Someone. First strike. Whenever Alicia who smiles at death attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, return target creature card from your. Yeah. Oh yeah. Return a bunch of things. A lot of graveyard recurs with those. Can't go wrong. Let's see. High synergy cards that work with this. Alicia, who laughs at fate. Yep. So you got to go weenies. Delny would be great. Arabella would be great. Enduring Innocence is interesting. I mean, yeah. Top cards. I mean, yeah. Every time you get anything like that. Surprisingly, Heir Apparent not in the top here, which shocks me. It costs 2. You kill him, you get him back. Seems like a win-win in my opinion. Welcoming Vampire. Whenever one or more other creatures with power 2 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Ooh, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. Welcoming Vampire would be pretty nasty. Ravenous Chupacabra would be good. Warren Soul Trader, obviously good. Witch Enchanter would be good. Oh, dude, Witch Enchanter would be kind of nasty. Use that 4-cost ability to get rid of a artifact or enchantment an opponent controls and just bring it back if you need it. A little bit of recursion on annoying, pesky things that are on the battlefield that you want to get off the battlefield. Not bad. Mentor of the Meek. I mean, if you're running a kind of a weenie deck where things are 2 or less, you want Mentor of the Week. There's a lot of different weenie ways you can go with this. Orcish Bowmasters, because people are going to try to kill your Orcish Bowmasters for sure. If you're running that Orzhov, which I think running Orzhov would be sweet. Sister Heir Apparent isn't on here. Maybe I'm just there. It is 10% of decks, 12% of 34 decks. It just makes too much sense. I mean, you don't have to go full Heir Apparent, but you could definitely throw in some Heir Apparents just to make it work. With Smile at Death, go get some more of them. Heir Apparent. Heir Apparent, I feel like, is like the easy button if you want to get that pretty consistently. I mean, you have to get either kill your own Heir Apparents or throw them in the graveyard, which we probably want to run Orzhov. Or, I mean, at least, was it Top Commanders? Alicia who smiles at death would probably be the best for that. Because then you get those 3 colors. Pretty nice. Can't go wrong with that. Arabella would be good too. But definitely going, I think Alicia makes the most sense for this deck because you are going weenie. All right, let's look at Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. All right, I have not, so I've kind of seen this card in passing a lot. At MagicCon Chicago, they had this whole like setup where they were showing it off. And I never read it because there's always people just standing there. So I was like, I never just stopped and read Sarkhan. Obviously saw pictures of him everywhere, but I've never actually sat down and read what he's doing. So let's check it out real quick. Sarkhan Dragon Ascendant. He's a 2-cost legendary creature, human druid 2/2. Sarkhan has lost his spark. When Sarkhan enters, you may behold a dragon. Right. To behold a dragon, choose a dragon you control, or reveal a dragon card from your hand. So choose a dragon. Okay. So you just like point at a dragon that's on the board, or you can reveal a dragon card from your hand. Interesting. Seems that's kind of interesting. I don't know. If you do create a treasure token, okay, so 2 costs, 2/2. If you're running dragons, he's going to come in here and get a dragon token, which you probably are. Then whenever dragon you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on Sarkhan until end of turn. Sarkhan becomes a dragon in addition to its other types and gains flying. How good is Sarkhan, I wonder? So 2 costs, 2/2, comes in, create a treasure, more likely because you're playing dragons. Then whenever time you play a dragon, you get to make Sarkhan bigger, and he becomes a dragon when you cast a dragon, or whenever a dragon you control enters. So it doesn't even have to be on cast. So that's kind of, that could be interesting. It doesn't have to be on cast. So if you cheat in some dragons, he could actually scale really, really well with Stormscale Scion. He might actually be a really good commander in mono red if you want to run a Stormscale Scion win con. Just because if you pop off with Stormscale Scion, which we haven't talked about yet, does all the storm stuff. You pop off with that, Sarkhan's going to get huge really, really fast, and then you're going to be able to swing with him because he's going to gain flying. And that's as soon as you play dragon. The art on all these different Sarkhans is sweet. I like this more than like the fracture foil, to be completely honest. Give me more of this. Give me more of this style without it doesn't have to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a huge fan of the fracture foil. I like this like ripple foil that they're going for. Obviously we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. But honestly, if I had to pick out of these 3 Sarkhans, I would pick this one. Just the black border with the blue on the outside, in my opinion, it looks so good. It looks really good. Stormscale Scion. Stormscale Scion. I made a video talking about this a little bit ago, but Stormscale Scion is interesting because it falls in a weird spot, I think, in Dragon Kindred decks. Because I don't think it goes in every dragon deck, because it really wants you to play a lot of cheap spells so that you can storm off with it. So if you're playing big creatures, sure, you can still put it in there. It's still a really good dragon. It gives all your dragons a buff, and that's awesome. But you're probably not going to storm off as often as you would like to if you're playing more of a spell slinger or even a Sarkhan type deck. Stormscale Scion is a 4 colorless 2 red flying. Other dragons you control get +1/+1, and it has Storm. If we don't know what Storm is, whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. Copies become tokens. So obviously cast a bunch of smaller spells right before Stormscale Scion, and then pop off King. You're going to get yourself a bunch of Stormscale Scions, essentially, and they're all going to give each other buffs. They're going to be 4/4 flying dragons. Find a way to give them haste, and then boom, you have a little win con. Not a crazy win con, but you definitely give yourself a chance, especially if you're storming off like some Storm's decks do. I'd have to look. I don't imagine there's a lot of Storm cards that cost this much, costing 6 in Storm. Let's check EDH Rec. They have some of these on here. They do have Stormscale Scion on here, so that's neat. Okay, so it's already in 58 decks. I think Sarkhan's a really good commander for it. Obviously, we got Dragon, the new Narset, the Shiko, Miriam actually would make a lot of sense. Miriam would make a lot of sense for this Stormscale Scion deck. Honestly, probably the most sense, because then you can make multiples of them. It has to be a non-token, so you wouldn't be able to make the tokens that Storm makes, but you could make another one. So that's kind of neat. I'm trying to think. Let's see if there's any Storm synergies that we like with this. High synergy cards. Wraith Liberated Prime Evil. Give it ward. Yeah. This is okay. Dragon Tempest. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, it gains haste until end of turn. So there you go. So Dragon Tempest, Stormscale Scion would be disgusting. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals X damage. That's a kill shot right there. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons you control. So storm off, have Dragon Tempest on the board, start storming off with some cheap spells, and then play Stormscale Scion into Dragon Tempest, and you might have a win con right there. That's pretty gross. That's actually a really, really cheap way to just murk people real fast. That's kind of a nasty synergy that we just found. Not that we found it, EDH Rec already had it, but we stumbled on it while we're looking at this. Top cards, Temur Ascendancy. Yep, give everything haste, because that's how you're gonna want to win this thing. Garruk's Uprising would be actually kind of nasty because you're going to draw a bunch of cards because all of those things enter with 4 or greater. So that's a solid way. Lathliss Dragon Queen, whatever, another non-token dragon. So that doesn't quite to work because all of the dragons you're coming in are tokens with Storm. I'm just trying to think what's the best commander we want to run for Stormscale Scion. If we want to run, I really like Sarkhan. I think you want to go cheaper dragons, and I think you just want to go. I think you want to just go Spellslinger. Spellslinger Dragon, kind of fun, honestly. Let's look at creatures, see if there's anything that we can. I mean, Twin Femme Tyrant. Actually, what's that new? There's that new card. Oh yeah, Seething Song. Seething Song by itself almost gets you right to Stormscale Scion. So that's kind of gross. I mean, you want to do things like Big Score, Sarkhan's Triumph, Desperate Ritual, any of those rituals that give you more mana than you already had, or, you know, just go straight treasures. You can go treasures and rituals. You can cast a bunch of those, keep popping them, keep having those pop off of each other, and then go Stormscale Scion, and you're gonna be doing some things. Stormscale Scion, I think, has a lot of opportunity to do stuff. I don't know much about Modern or Standard. I don't know if it has any place in any of that, but I think it could be a lot of fun, especially in just Commander in general. Let's look at Barren Steppe Siege. I have not read this card at all. 2 colorless Orzhov. As this enchantment enters, choose Abzan or Mardu. Okay. So we're definitely going to get a lot of tribal stuff. So Abzan, if you choose Abzan, at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Okay, I like that. Mardu, at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. That is not bad. I kind of like that. You could definitely do some things with that. I also wonder if you want to copy enchantments. So then, shoot, let's say you're going Abzan, Mardu, if you go 4 color, 5 color, whatever you want to do, you could do both of them. I guess it wouldn't really matter because you're not picking a color. You just have to have the Orzhov colors. Either way, you're going to have Abzan or Mardu. So either way, you could really run both. I don't know why you necessarily want to run both, but you could run both if you really wanted to. If you wanted to copy the enchantment, or you just go one or the other, and either way it's not bad. If you want to go Abzan, you get a bunch of 1/1 counters on each creature you control. That's kind of that's almost like a Cathur's Crusade in a way. In the Mardu, beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I don't have. Let's look at what they have on EDH Rec for it. I don't know. It doesn't tickle my fancy too much. Only 14 people are putting in decks. It's definitely going to be in that Bator Ancestor's Voiced commander deck that we're getting. Teysa, yeah, Teysa. Lulu, Carador. So definitely, I don't know, interesting card. It's not my style per se, so I do love this art though. This art on this is incredible. This Barren Steppe Siege, I love this art. Just looks like a war campaign. That's the kind of story stuff we like. Okay, let's look at Inevitable Defeat. This spell can't be countered. It does cost 4 in Mardu. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. So no matter what, this is just a clear card, right? You can get rid of whatever you want, lose life, gain life, which would be good. I mean, if you really need a card that costs 4 that can't be countered and you really need to get rid of something, I suppose 4 is a lot, and you have to have all 3 colors. But it can't be countered, so I mean that's not nothing. That's not nothing, but it's I would say that's a little steep on the price. It's a little steep on the price. You have to have the 3 colors. Like can't be countered is great, but have to have the 3 colors. If you have the 3 colors, maybe you could probably do bigger things with that. I don't know. Inevitable Defeat. Let's see if if there's anything really going on with this. Yeah, it's an 8 deck so far, so not a lot. Queen Marchesa, I mean, yeah. Caesar, maybe. I don't know. I don't. New Ketramos, maybe. I don't know. I don't see a lot being done with Inevitable Defeat. 4 is a lot. 4 is a lot. Even for an uncounterable spell, 4 is a lot. You do get to exile it though. So which is good for like a Ketramos, but you can't run Ketramos as the commander, but you could run in whatever deck. I don't know. I don't see that getting a lot of play. A 4-cost counter is kind of cray cray. Not gonna lie. I just killed my chat box here. There we go. 4-cost counter. It's up there. All right, this is a fun one. I made a video about this yesterday talking about it. Bator. Ancestor's Voice. 2-cost. White, black, green. I messed up reading this yesterday because reading is hard. Flying lifelink at the beginning of your end step. So at the beginning of your end step, put a number of 1/1 counters on up to one other target creature, so it can't be Bator, you control equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. So if you want to gain some life, you're going to get a bunch of 1/1 counters. So could be fun. Then it's return up to one target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you lost this turn from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you get kind of a buff for gaining life, and then you also get a little bit of a buff for losing life. So you're definitely going to want I made the video and I talked about the Cactus Togimon, and so you could gain a ton of life and get a lot of counters with the first ability, but you're not going to be able to go and get something from the graveyard with that ability. You're going to want to lose life. But interesting enough, let's say, I don't know, you just want to, I don't know, there's a bunch of ways you can make yourself lose life. You can definitely run that with Bator. Let's look at what people are doing with Bator already. I bet a lot of people are building Bator. There's no Bator? Bator Ancestor's Voice. I bet there's a bunch of decks already made. Oh, they're already doing data on it. Everyone else, that's all the other cards are coming up. All right, so there might be a bug on Bator. We can't have Bator come up. That's okay. But there's a bunch you can do with him. I think he's going to be a really fun commander. I think we only got one other commander potential card from this set, if I'm not mistaken. I think Narset is the Jeskai with the Shiko. So that's the only pairing that I think we've gotten so far is Narset and Shiko. I believe this is the pair, but well, maybe not. These don't have the commander things on them. Okay, maybe. Oh, interesting. So maybe I'm just being a silly goose. Is Bator the only commander that we've seen so far? Oh, here we go. Okay, Taval. We've seen Taval as well. We'll get into Taval in a little bit. Okay, but Bator, really fun. A lot has been said about Bator. A lot of people like him. Skirmish Rhino. Trample. When this creature enters, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. All right, that would work pretty well with Bator. 3/4 trample for 3. When this creature enters, each opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. Good card, Skirmish Rhino. Let's see if this one will come up. I'm just wondering what people are putting these in so far. It's very early in the creation of all these, so who knows? The 14 decks, Bator obviously. So no one has doubled up on a deck yet. We have 4 decks. Anafenza, Carador, Ophalm, and Warnog, and Thalion the Gitrog monster was immediately where my brain went. It just the theme of big monsters that charge people is immediately where my mind went, but not where everyone's mind might go. Yeah, and then you got to add it with Siege Rhino. So in Siege Rhino, when Siege Rhino enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. Woohoo! So you got Skirmish Rhino and Siege Rhino, and they're best friends. You could have a Rhino Kindred deck. You could run around with that thing. I will say I like this art more than the borderless fracture foil type art that we've gotten. I like the black border with a little bit of pop on the outside. Give me more of that stuff. I'm all in on that. All right, let's move over to Narset, Jeskai Waymaster. Narset, Jeskai Waymaster, legendary creature, human monk. She is in the Jeskai colors, obviously. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of spells you've cast this turn. 3/4. I don't do a lot of spell singing, so this card's interesting to me. So if you just cast a bunch of cards, right, then you can just discard your hand and you don't care, right? And then you just draw a bunch of cards. But then that means you have to continually be hitting cards to cast if you want to use Narset in the best way possible. Interesting. But it is spells you've cast, so it doesn't have to be just interaction. It doesn't have to be just counters. It doesn't have to be, what did the command zone call it? Disruption, something like that. They call that on one of their most recent shows, just game disruption cards. So you could be running that with Jeskai, or you could just be, hurting people with it, maybe playing little creatures, and then as you cast 3 or 4 cards per turn, discard your hand to go get some more creatures that you can then mess around with. Narset, Jeskai's way is interesting. I think it's not really my play style, but I do think that is an interesting card. That's not the right Jeskai. Let's see if we have her up here. Okay, so we do have her up here already. People have already been working on her. 28 decks. Interesting. As the commander, Vergeland's high synergy cards. So we have free spells are good. Free spells are going to work really, really well with her. Okay, looking at this, okay, I might be completely off base. Looking at this now, people are going to run with this for sure. Cataxian Probe, Savine's Reclamation, Lotus Petal. Yeah, all these other cheap cards. Ragavan is obviously going to be in there. Bergie's going to be awesome. Mishra's Bauble. Anything you can play for free is going to be huge. A lot of cheap interaction. Or free interaction even. At this, okay. Okay, now looking at this, a lot of things are popping back up. Okay, this can be a lot of fun. And then Underworld Breach is going to be gross too. Each on card in your graveyard has escape. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus exile 3 other cards from graveyard. That could be fun as well for Underworld Breach in a Narset deck that cares about casting as many cards as possible. Not bad. Mystical Tutors, Line of Diamond. Yeah, if you're running that stuff. I do... Whew, looking at some of the stuff that's in this... And I don't know CEDH enough to know. I don't know if there's anything Jeskai in CEDH that does well, like a lot of the time. But there's a lot of cards in here that you could use in a CEDH pod. That says Oracle could work, right? Because you're discarding your hand. I mean, yeah, she does give you that discard, and that's what you kind of need if you want to run that. So that's not, there's chance there. There's chance there for sure. Mockingbird would be great. Labman, yeah, you'll Labman into Thassa's Oracle. Spellseeker, yeah, a lot of cheap stuff. I was wrong, I think. I think Narset might be gross. Narset could be gross. Narset legit could be gross in that Jeskai colors. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw cards equal to the number of spells you've cast this turn. So you're just going to be slinging spells, drawing cards, and just going to work. I'm down for that. I like that. I had to think through, you had to talk about it. I think that's a legit thing people are going to be messing with. Let's look at Shiko, Paragon of the Way. I love how Shiko looks. Hopefully we get some full art stuff with her or them, I don't know, soon. Shiko, Paragon of the Way, 2-cost Jeskai, flying, vigilance, 4/5 body. They read. I don't know if it's a he or she. When Shiko enters, I guess it's just a dragon. This dragon reads, when Shiko enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Copy it, then you may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Interesting. So when Chico enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Copy it, then you may cast. Okay. I think this has some chance to be kind of gross as well. Let's see what or if EDH Trek has anything for. Yeah, we got a few decks already. Mox Jasper for sure. Oh yeah, Riptide. No, Riptide Gearhook does not work. Riptide Gearhook's a good card. It doesn't work to do the blink effect to get it back. SP costs 3 or less. Ephemerate would be good. Cloud Shift would be good. Displacer Kitten, great. Ghostly Flicker is gonna be able to do some things. Displace. So you get a bunch of 3 cost and less cards in this. You're gonna want to be able to copy them. Panharmonica, if you want to do it again, if you just want to fill your graveyard with spells that you can just use and kind of control the table. It's kind of a little bit of almost a Jeskai control in a way. If you want blink, yeah, blink combo control. Yeah, you could do quite a few things. I feel like with Shiko here. You can blink, you can combo, you can control. CDH is interesting. Like I was saying before, I'm not sure on how well Jeskai does in CDH. It's not my forte. I have no clue how Jeskai does in CDH. But Shiko's interesting. I think Narset's interesting-er. That's a word I just used. I just made it up. Interesting-er. I like both of them. They pair very well together. I would probably run Narset. I think you would run Narset as commander because of only 3 costs, and that makes sense to me. All right, let's look at this other big spirit dragon, Tival, the balanced scale. 1 black, green, blue on a flying 4/4 body. This art is beautiful, by the way. Flying, whenever Tival attacks, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you get some recursion with the mill. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Interesting. So you get the recursion. If you fill your deck with land, you're gonna bring one of those lands back, and every single time you bring a land back, you're going to get a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. So yeah, that's gonna do some things. I like Tival. Tival's also in some colors I really enjoy. I've been enjoying playing these colors. So Tival, I like the idea of Tival, especially you can go zombie if you want. You could just go pure recursion. You could go. I mean, you could go landfall, I suppose. If you really, I mean, you should go landfall. What's the other commander? What's the commander I'm trying to think of that cares about landfall and graveyards? I know there's another one I'm blanking on. There's a commander out there that cares about landfall and graveyards, and I'm poo-pooing on what it is, but it definitely exists. It's somewhere out there. Is it? It's not Lord Windgrace, is it? It might be Lord Wind. I played against a Lord Windgrace deck. Yeah, lands matter, lands fall, and not as much about from the graveyard. Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, so Lord Windgrace and Tival have, I feel like, very similar builds in slightly different colors. So you care about getting lands into the graveyard, and then you care about getting them back out. So Lord Windgrace and Tival, very similar, but you're replacing the red with the blue, which is kind of a fun way to do it. Gives you some more ways to control things. So let's look at lands matter. Most of the stuff you're going to be able to run in your Tival decks as well. So get rid of all of this, not Omnath, which does suck. You lose the splash of red, which is really good in Lord Windgrace, but you can run all of this in Tival. Obviously, whatever has red in it, you can't, but everything else, which is a lot because I think red is one of the more minor colors in your landfall decks most of the time, at least from the landfall decks I make, even though I have an entire Gruul Phylath landfall deck. But you can live without the red, and especially when you're getting blue instead of red, forget about it. Forget about it. Yeah, Taval, I think if I had to say it right now, Taval's a better Lord Windgrace. Maybe. Lord Windgrace though does have different interactions, it being a planeswalker and etc. etc. But Taval is pretty nasty. I like the color combo better than Lord Windgrace, to be honest. Maybe. Especially because you're gonna be playing black blue zombies now too. If you want, you go landfall zombies with it, which can be really gross. Lands matter zombie deck with Taval. I really like Taval. Guys, did I tell you I really like Taval? All right, and the final card that we've gotten spoiled, officially spoiled from Wizards of the Coast, is the Mox Jasper. Finally get onto the Mox Jasper, which is a really interesting card. And it makes me wonder if they're going to be doing more kindred type Moxes to make them more balanced, because it's hard to break a Mox if it specifically only talks about one sort of type, like dragons. You could go, obviously, changelings. Maybe changelings are going to eat from now on. Maybe that's going to be the thing. But Mox Jasper costs 0. Legendary artifact. Tap it. Add 1 mana of any color. Activate only if you control a dragon. So, just good, right? It is interesting because you have to have a dragon on the board. If you don't have a dragon on the board, it's literally just a rock that you gotta put out there for free. Obviously counts as, like, you know, spell casting, etc., etc. But it does have some limitations, being that you have to have a dragon on the board, or you have to have a changeling so it has that dragon type. So that is kind of interesting. Mox Jasper, I mean, it's good Mox if you really like dragons, and I think there's a chance this might be the way they go with Moxes. It doesn't seem like Wizards of the Coast wants to put out a lot of Moxes that just break the game or become this new incredible thing, but they do want to make more Moxes, because Moxes and Lotuses are, you know, Magic kings, right? Like, everyone wants a Mox, everyone wants their Lotuses. No matter what they do, Moxes and Lotuses are cool no matter what. So people will go after them. I do like that I like this serialized. I don't like that it's not on this version, because this version is incredible. This is the version I want with this dragon border. This is cool because it kind of a homage to old school Moxes, and just how they would look. Obviously, it's going to be foiled. There's only going to be 500 of these, and I do like that chase. I like that model that Wizards of the Coast is doing, where they just make these chase cards inside of just every set that comes out. So now you have the Mox Jasper, which is this trace card. The one before was the Aether Drift. The one before that was obviously Edgar Markov. So every set's now going to have this chase card. There's only going to be 500 of them. I think if I was Wizards of the Coast, that's what you stick with, because I think that's going to be the best way to scale the serialized thing and make it not seem so watered down like they did with March of the Machines and Brothers War, I think, where they just put serialized on a bunch of random cards that no one even wanted. Make them really cool cards. Like the Aether Spark is good, not great, but making it serialized and only 500 of them makes it really, really cool to try to go get. Obviously, Edgar Markov price went to the crapper, but since there was only 500 serialized of those went skyrocketing. Mox Jasper, really, really pretty cool. I like the old school border. I like this one though. Give me this one. If I'm chasing the Mox Jasper and I don't want to go crazy about going after the serialized, this is the one I want. This thing is beautiful. My goodness, look at it. I've not read the flavor text. The essence of Dragonfire has permitted Tarkir's landscapes since time immemorial. That's a word I don't like saying. All right, there we go. That was Tarkir. That was all spoiled this past weekend. Really cool stuff coming out of Tarkir. No one cares about Aether Drift. Final Fantasy, we did get some stuff. I'm not going to go too much into Final Fantasy. I would rather we chat about what we did this weekend at ChicagoCon, because it was ChicagoCon. Started off by record all my draft stuff. Started off by drafting a mystery box 2. Which is honestly, you know what I learned this weekend? I learned over MagicCon that I hate drafting, and I want no part in it. I'm such a tinker of decks, and I take a very long time to make decks. So I'm not a huge fan of drafting. I actually, and I'm slightly embarrassed about this, and I don't really want to talk about it, but I actually entered into Gavin Verhey's sealed event, like mystery sealed event. But after doing this mystery draft the night before, I was like, I don't want to do this sealed event. So I went, sat down, listened to Gavin talk, which was fine. I got my packs, and then I opened them, and then I sat there nervously waiting to leave. And then I scooped. So if the 2 people that I was playing with somehow see this video, I'm sorry I scooped. I hated it. I don't want to do that ever again. They wanted us to make a 60 card commander deck in like a 20-minute window, and you had to use the cards that you opened in your 6 packs, and I was not for it. I was out of there. I was screaming in my head, but I was gone. I had no interest in doing that. But drafting with the homies was fun. I did enjoy that. That was fine. I did get where'd it go? I don't know where it went. Whatever. Drafting with my friends was a lot of fun. That's what I enjoyed the most. But that was more of just because I was with my friends. Where this was with random people I didn't know them, and I didn't want to try to make a deck in 10 minutes while sitting at a table with other people. So that was not my interest. Well, the other thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it soon, is I got a bunch of different sleeves. So I got a bunch of different sleeves. We got the KMC Phoenix sleeves. These are their best sleeves, they say. Actually kind of liked the other ones that weren't these, to be honest. But I was like, I'm going to go with their highest model, and that was this. So I picked these up. I got to sleeve up a deck and check it out. We then also got Nerd Gear, which I've never tried their sleeves, but Nerd Gear is a sponsor of the channel. If you want to check out the disc or check out the link tree. Let me get the link tree here. Nerd Gear is awesome. They've been growing. They have like commander plates. They have like little racks where you can put all of your what is this? What is happening? They have little where you can put all your play mats, and you can put them on your door. You can just put them on the wall. Those are great. Awesome stuff. Love it. But I've never ever tried their sleeves. So we picked some sleeves. Yo, Reddy's bro, kid on the stage. What's up, Nick? Yeah, I have not gotten to that yet. I have not gotten to talk about that yet. I'm gonna paste the link tree in the chat. I hope that worked. It didn't. Okay, I don't know why my chat here. That's the link tree. I don't know if you guys can click on it or not, but there it is. That's me. But so I got the Nerd Gear sleeves. I'm gonna test these out. The shuffle felt fine with what they had on the table. It's so hard to tell though, because you're standing up, you're like, oh yeah, these are nice, and then you just kind of walk away. Cortex sleeves I've never gotten either. I'm gonna go pick up some katanas as well and try these things out. And the katanas. I've never gotten a katana, so I'm gonna try those also. And then I got the Ultra Pro Apex sleeves, which these are supposed to be Ultra Pro's best. These are what Command Zone uses. Apparently they're incredible. We're gonna try these out. We're gonna give them a run for their money. I've always kind of been a Dragon Shield boy, so we'll see. There are some Dragon Shields I really like. There are some Dragon Shields that are god awful. And then we got the, sorry, I just burped right into the microphone. That was terrible. Then we got the Yargle in Space sleeves that you got for, I think it was Premium Weekend is what we got. But Yargle in Space, I think these are Ultra Pro, or they're either Ultra Pro Ultimate Guard. I'm not sure, but they got those as well. Got them curves. Boy, Red Nose. So we got those. We got a bunch of sleeves. I'm going to test all those. We got some Inner Dragon Shield sleeves, because I'm going to do that with another one of my decks. I finally did that with my Captain America deck, which never have I ever double sleeved deck. But now Captain America, now that it's rocking dual lands, got the treatment. But there's still a lot of air in those cards. But Captain America did really, really well this weekend, so he got a little treat. That's my baby boy right there. That's my baby boy. All right, deck boxes. So probably one of the coolest things at MagicCon Chicago is that they were engraving deck boxes for free. And this is the Look at My D Gear Hulk. That's what I named him. I don't even know which Gear Hulk this is, to be honest. But it's the Look at My D Gear Hulk, okay? Look at my D! And one of my buddies tried to say that he was bending over, and that was actually his butt. I don't agree. This is the Look at My D Gear Hulk. But we had an inside joke where one of my buddies at breakfast one morning started a story from his childhood, and he started it with, so there I was, 5 bananas deep. So we went with so there I was, 5 bananas deep, engraved, kind of as like a, this is what we did this weekend. This is one of the funny sayings. We had a few different funny sayings that we were using all weekend. But so there I was, 5 bananas deep is what's I engraved. I'm going to use the yellow Cortex sleeves, throw them in that deck, and I'm going to make a Kibo. I think that's Commander's name. Kibo deck. The monkey, the green monkey, the Gruul monkey. I think it's Gruul. That has, you know, we know his story where his parents were doing stuff in the background of another card, and then he became the prince. So I'm gonna make that deck, and we're gonna put it in this box because it just makes too much sense. Because there I was, 5 bananas deep. It's a good story, good joke. You also got a Yargle in Space deck box. I don't have my camera set up to like really show these off as best as I could, but I like Yargle in Space. Pretty neat. He's kind of my homie. I love me some Yargle. I hope we get a new Yargle. I'm hoping that's what all this means with all this Yargle talk for Edge of Eternities, right? I think that's the name. Edge of Eternities. Hopefully we get another big old Yargle. A big Yargle would be good. Especially with the way they've been going with like these vanilla creatures. Yargle's going to end up being like a 25-25. Or like a 25-3 or something like that. Because it seems like every time they print a new Yargle, they just up the ante a little bit. You get a few packs from doing the premium weekend. I hit a Radiant Lotus, but my buddy hit this Radiant Lotus. So I traded for this one, the Purdy one, because my goodness, look at it. I've been wanting a Radiant Lotus, and now I have like 4 of them. No, 3 of them. I opened 2 on Cash Cards Unlimited yesterday, helping out a guy that exists. And then I also pulled a Loot. So there's my boy Loot. So I might be making Timur now. So that might be happening. Pretty exciting. Kind of like those. I was happy to hit those in the packs that you got with the premium weekend. It is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Other things I got that were really, really cool. Nerd Gear, again, a sponsor. Click the link tree. I posted it up below as Robert Sauter. You get a link tree. You can go to Nerd Gear. You can get a bunch of stuff. They have their own version of Infinitokens. Obviously, everyone loves Infinitokens, but it's okay that there's other things out there. They kind of have their own version of it. They work the exact same. They're Infinitokens by Nerd Gear. You can buy them from either Nerd Gear, you can buy them from Infinitokens. I really don't care. It's your money. Use it how you want it. And then maybe my prized possession of the week. Tome of Tokens. Tome of Tokens from Wizard of the Barge here, which he did sign one of them. I'm going to see if I can get these to focus because these are really, really cool. If you haven't got these, you're going to want to get these. Gosh, focus for me, please. I need to get the other camera set up. Soldier, I would get this tatted on my body. Food. Hey, Leathers, what's up, man? MagicCon was good. I'm just kind of covering everything I did at MagicCon right now. Shrine. Fairy. Blood. Food. The dragon is dope. I would get that dragon tatted on me. Honestly, if I just wanted to get all of these tattooed on my body, I would probably do it. But these are all the Wizard of the Barges tokens. He took a poll basically on on what tokens to make, and that's what he went with. We have the biblically accurate angel, which I love, a construct, a beast, a zombie. Dude, yeah, the tokens are so good. Oh no, oh James, you did the Kickstarter. Very nice, very nice. The tokens are so good. My arm is getting tired. That elf warrior, my arm's getting tired holding this up. I want to make this chat on here bigger. But yeah, he nailed him. Wizard of the Barge nailed him. He's one of my favorites. I also bought a hat from him, and shorts and a shirt. I spent a lot of money at Wizard of the Barge's little thing. I should have got more signed. I wish I would have. He did. He blessed me big time by I went and I got some shorts. Okay, because he has those really cool shorts. They are not stretchy, not in the least bit, and I do my fair share of squats. I eat my vegetables. I drink chalky milk, and I'm all about that protein life. The shorts were very, very tight, so I was wearing the 36s size shorts that he had, and I wore them to Command Zone Live. And after getting out of Command Zone Live, I noticed I had ripped the side of them because my legs were a little bit too big. So yeah, that was rough. Went back the next day. They were like, dude, I just found, he remembered me. He was like, dude, I found some 38s. You can have these. We can just exchange them. And I was like, thank the Lord. The 38s fit much better. Did not rip them in 4 hours. So good stuff. Glad the Barge was able to give me those. Those were really cool. Barge is also like the nicest, most genuine dude. I feel like at these cons, he recognized me, which was weird, which is really cool. We also get these as promo cards. It's a Avacyn's Pilgrim. The art look, it's really hard to, okay, I'm just gonna open it, get 2 of them. James, you did the Kickstarter. That's really cool. I wish I would have done the Kickstarter. I don't know what this is. I give you kind of that. These are already foiling pretty nicely. Let's see if we can focus here. But Avacyn's Pilgrim is what it is. You got 2 of them, which is kind of nice. I don't know. Do with that information what you will. What else can we talk about real quick? Trying to think. What else did I do? Oh, I bought some playmats. We should cover the playmats real quick. Did you pick up any of the Shagos? No, I didn't. My friends did. My friends picked up the ones that were downstairs. I didn't pick up any of the MagicCon like merch stuff. I totally just forgot about all of it. I went at the end of the day on Sunday and looked at some of the merch, and I was like, everything's gone. So I didn't pick up any of that. I totally forgot that there was a secret layer at MagicCon. Like, just, I brain farted the whole weekend. I forgot to like message people back. It was a really weird weekend. It was sporadic. It was a lot of fun. It was my first full con. I would 100% do it again, but I need more of a plan. And I'll go into this. I joked all week about seeing everyone else posting their plans. I was like, who has a plan? Don't you just go and kind of hang out? Plans are good. That's what I would say. Plans are really, really good, and I wish I would have planned more. That's for future cons. I'm definitely going to plan out what I'm doing more. I'm hoping to hit up Chicago Con, so we'll see. I did get like this one, which I don't really like. I wish it would have just been Chandra doing the like Akira walk up or something. I might just give this away. I'm gonna be completely honest. This might be a giveaway. It's like, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I'm never ever going to use it. I might just find a kid and give it to them, to be completely honest. It ain't for me. It's fine. It's cool. It's a playmat. It does what it's supposed to do. I have a lot more playmats that I like way more than this. It's at the bottom of the barrel, and it's either going to get just given away or I'm going to give it away on socials. So there you go. That playmat. The only other playmat that I got is this one. And it's just a little dude. He's just a little guy going, uh-huh. That's it. I don't know why. I don't know why this is the one that spoke to me. I don't know why I picked this up, but this is the one. That's it. That's the only two playmats. It was really hard to say no to a lot of playmats the entire weekend, especially the artists that had playmats. It was really hard to say no to a lot of those, but yeah, there it is. That's the only playmat I really wanted. That's the one that called my name. Let's see. I did get cool cards. Where did my... All right, we got to find it. We did get cool cards. We got a few. Before the con, I opened up a pack of Ether Spark and got an Ether Spark, Ether Drift, and got an Ether Spark. It doesn't want to focus, but did get that. That's going to go into Captain America. I double sleeved Cap, but let's show off. We can show off what we got for Cap here. Captain America had a really good weekend. I made a video talking about this a little bit, but Captain America did really well this weekend. I played technically 3 games. One guy pub stomped us, turn 3, completely wrecked us. I wouldn't say his deck was CEDH, but it was very, very good. The CEDH borderline, just because the colors weren't exactly what you wanted. I also kind of think now, after learning some stuff, that guy was just kind of making up some stuff and maybe needs some help with his rules, because the story I'm about to tell should have never happened the way it did. Still kind of the same premise though. So I was playing my Captain America deck. I was playing against some randoms. I just walked downstairs. There was 3 people standing there. They're like, we need a 4th. Okay, cool. Jumped in. We all decided to play 4s. Non-CDH 4s. The first guy, like I said, wiped us really, really fast. Then we played another game because that game ended in like 5 minutes. Whatever. So a guy playing Lord Windgrace got Merit Lage on the board. Cool. So then another guy used, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure another guy then used Invoke the Winds. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. Another guy used Invoke the Winds, gain control of target artifact or creature, untap it. So he went and grabbed the Merit Lage from the other person. Cool, right? And then he casted Imposter Mech, which Imposter Mech reads, you may have Imposter Mech enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it's a vehicle artifact with crew 3 and it loses all card types. So when he played this, he said that Merit Lage lost its legendary card type, which now I know is incorrect, because legendary is a super type. It does not count as a card type. So good to know for future. He then also, he played something else to make another one. So he had 3 Merit Lages, and then each other person on the field or in the pod also had a Merit Lage. So there was 5 Merit Lages on the board. But I had my boy Captain America. He had the Staff of Hermes, and he had Excalibur, and they couldn't mess with him because what else? He was indestructible. He had flying. I had an offer you can't refuse and a deflecting SWAT in hand. So I was eventually able just to gain so much life throwing Excalibur at people kind of one by one or pinging off different things. Gain a bunch of life with Excalibur because I also had double strike. So every time I threw Excalibur, I was getting 24 life. So I would throw Excalibur twice every time I had the mana. Throw it twice, I would gain 48 life every time I threw it. And it was disgusting. So I could just take the Merit Lages attacking me head on, and it didn't affect me because I was over 100 life total the entire time, which was really, 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 really fun. I then top decked a Mystical Tutor. Then I let the turn go around, played the Mystical Tutor on the guy next to me's end step. Went and got Chandra's Ignition, put that on top, drew Chandra's Ignition. Chandra's Ignition the table, and then I had to throw Excalibur at one person to finish him off. And that was all she wrote. So Captain America did really, really, really well. So I went and got Captain America. Let's see if we can get this to focus. I went and got Captain America a volcanic island. Here, let's focus here. In Italian, it's a Isola Vulcania, which honestly I think is even better. Really, really good. It looks beautiful. And then I got him a Plateau. The Plateau is a little rough. Plateau's a little rough. I kind of wish I would have got a better deal on the Plateau. The Plateau is real bad. The front isn't awful. It does have some yellowing going around, but the back is, if I can get this to focus, the back is pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, almost spent 1G getting these two. I'm working on trading some cards in now so I can go get a Tundra, and that's kind of gonna finish off my dual lands for Captain America, because this has become my staple deck. Like if anyone wants me to come on a stream and they say we're running 4s or high powered, Captain America's coming out, and I'm going to win this game. It also has our Infinity Bro sleeves that we got from Dragon Shield. So first ever double sleeve deck. Gotta get the air out of it. I almost just dropped the entire thing. So like gotta get the air out of it because it'll squeeze down a little bit, but not a ton. They do be pricey. Those dual lands, they do be pricey. Definitely an investment when buying them. After seeing the back of the Plateau, I wish I would have looked at it more. I regret it slightly that I picked that one. Because it's like, it's really rough. It's not as good of an investment. Yeah, Matt, 1G. Almost 1G. They gave me a little bit of a deal, so it wasn't quite 1G. The Volcanic Island goes for, I got it for 580. I got the Plateau for 280 or 260. Yeah, dual lands, man. Dual lands are a whole different game. I've been saving up for months for this. For MagicCon, I didn't spend as much as I thought I was going to. So it was the final day and I was like, I'm gonna pimp out Cap. Gotta pay to play. Yeah, man. We had a lot of good discussions this weekend about proxying, what we believe about proxying. Is it okay? And sorry, I just punched that. I don't want to get into the whole semantics of proxying and not proxying, but it was good. We had a good discussions this weekend. What I will say right now, though, is my entire area, like you can kind of see it a little bit, is just a disaster of things right now. But you guys are in here chatting right now. I want to feel this out. Do we like this vibe? I'm thinking about making this a weekly occurrence. Maybe kind of a Wednesdays, mid-afternoon, chat for a few hours, just hang out, chat about what's going on in Magic the Gathering, and then calling it good. I kind of like it. I'm kind of following Jake and Joel. They do this a lot on their channel, and I love Jake and Joel, so I was like, I could try this. So how do we like it? Do we feel it? We got a few people in here now chilling, so if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. It is what it is. I'm working on gonna have a show off camera, but I have to get another thing for that, so then I can actually show what cards I'm messing around with. Blah 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 blah. All right. So that was kind of the weekend. Saturday night was awesome. Saturday night they had a karaoke event for MagicCon at a bar called Reggie's, and unfortunately, not a lot of people went to the bar named Reggie's for MagicCon. There was like a seating area upstairs. I didn't realize there was a few people up there. Like Magic New Girl was up there. KPMTGG was up there. But a fun story before I get to the music part of that is I sat down upstairs before everything started. Right? And there I sat by this gentleman who I did not recognize. And we started talking or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, you're here for MagicCon? What do you do? Like, do you just play the game, or do you like playing, or do you like make creation?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm a content creator." I was like, "Oh, cool. Who are you? Well, do I know who you are?" He gives me his Instagram first. Okay, he gives me his Instagram first. Let me start this off by this. Let me start this off by saying I don't watch Twitch at all. Okay, so he gives me his Instagram first. So he tells me to type it in. He says, Numo the Nummy. Numat the Nummy. Okay, I go, "Oh yeah, I've never heard of that. What do you mainly do?" He goes, "Yeah, my Instagram isn't very big," and he was very, very chill about it. He goes, "Yeah, my Instagram isn't very big." Okay, so what's your main content? He goes, he goes, check my Twitch. And I go, okay. I check his Twitch. Kenji, Numat the Nummy, has 144K followers on Twitch. 144. I just sat next to him like, I don't know who this guy is. So he told me he got into Arena 13, 14 years ago on Twitch. So he was really early into it playing. And he was like, yeah, I've been making content for 13 years. What? So I sat down to a ginormous Magic the Gathering creator. Had no idea. I felt terrible. I was like, I'm a content creator. I do this, and I don't even know who I'm talking to right now. And this dude's way bigger than I am. Way bigger than I am. Let's check out his YouTube. Also is pretty huge. He has 88.3K subscribers on YouTube. I had no idea who he was. I feel awful. The dude's obviously really good at this. This is what he does. Numat the Nummy. Sorry I didn't know who you were. You're awesome. I'm subscribing to you now. And yeah, sat next to him before everything started. That was really cool. Kind of a fun interaction. You don't know who you're going to run into when you go to these things. So that was really cool. Had a blast at Reggie's. Great meeting you there, brother. Dude, Reggie's was so much fun. I was just getting into Reggie's. I was just talking about Reggie's. So yeah, Reggie's. So that was where I met Kenji, Numat the Nummy. Upstairs, he just chilled the entire time. He didn't really come downstairs. He wasn't really there to do anything else. But so the show's starting, okay? My buddy was the first song. My buddy Luke, Casual Commander Revival. If you want to check them out, they have a small podcast that they do. My buddy Luke went up there sang first. Awesome. At the end of his song, who walks in but the one and only Jimmy Wong? The one and only Jimmy Wong from Command Zone, from Mulan, from Wish Dragon. Jimmy Wong shows up at Reggie's. He's hanging out with the Magic Kids crew. He's hanging out with some of his friends, etc. Such a cool, down-to-earth guy. I've met Jimmy before. We met him at MagicCon Minneapolis. We interviewed some of the Command Zone people and some of the Loading Ready Run people. That interview should be on our YouTube somewhere if you want to check it out. But that was a really cool interaction. We got to sing Weezer. Weezer Say It Ain't So. And in the first part of that song, there's a line that goes, "Wrestle with Jimmy." And I asked Jimmy if he would come on stage so we could like wrestle him. He totally forgot. And I was like, it doesn't matter. But I got to yell, "Wrestle with Jimmy," and like point at Jimmy in the crowd, which is probably the highlight of, I don't know, the last few years at least of my life. That was really cool. Getting to hang out with Jimmy Wong, singing some karaoke with my friends, having an all around good time. It was a blast. Reggie's was a blast. I wish more people would have gone. If they do that again, let's say if they come to Chicago Con or if they go to Minneapolis or whatever next year or Las Vegas, I'm going to be pumping the karaoke crowd. I'm going to try to get people to go to the karaoke thing because that is so much fun. I apologize to anyone I had interaction with because I was a mess. Absolute mess. I was very dizzy for certain reasons that I don't want to talk about right now. But Reggie's was a lot of fun. MagicCon was so much fun. That was probably there was a lot of fun things that were done, but that was crazy. Dude, live band karaoke was awesome. Nathan, what songs did you sing? But yeah, the live band karaoke was awesome. The amount I had one person comment in one of my videos. It was my videos or post, and he was like, "Dude, I'm pretty sure I told you to get a Blue Moon at Reggie's." I was like, I definitely got a Blue Moon at Reggie's. I don't remember who told me to get a Blue Moon at Reggie's. I couldn't tell you, but other than that, it was so much fun. It was a blast. We had a great time. Eyes Without a Face. I don't know, man. In a punk song. Okay. We did Wagon Wheel. We made it a screamo at the end. My buddy did a Nirvana song. What was the punk song? Dude, it was fun. It was so much fun. I could barely remember anything else that happened. I was rocking. I was dancing. I don't dance, but I was dancing then because I was feeling good. It was a lot of fun. I absolutely loved it. It was a great time. What else should I cover? I think that's the kind of the gist of my MagicCon experience. I would say the thing if I had to regret something, or if you guys have a Q&A for me, questions or whatever that you want to ask about MagicCon, I'll say this. I went to MagicCon not in the realm of a creator, although I am a creator and knew that there was a chance that people were going to stop me and ask me for pictures and whatever, which I knew that was a chance no matter what doing this. I was blown away, absolutely blown away by the amount of people that stopped me, or just like in passing said they liked my content, or asked me for like an autograph, or asked for a picture, or just wanted to talk for a little bit. I was blown away by that. It was a very, very humbling, weird experience for me. That's never happened in my life. I've never been a popular person. I've never been popular. And I don't know if that's what being popular feels like, but it was very different for me to have that happen. I enjoyed it. It was really, really cool. I just wasn't, I don't think, socially prepared for it. And because of that, I let that kind of sway me from going to Creator Central very much. I think Creator Central is a really, really good tool for creators to hook up and to, I guess, just link up and do creator games together. I don't know how good of a tool Creator Central is for like meeting creators. If you're just a fan, it seems intimidating. Even as a creator for Magic the Gathering, Creator Central seemed very intimidating, and I did not really enjoy going in there, and I did not go in there very often. So if people didn't wanted to see me at MagicCon and they were looking for me at Creator Central, I apologize. I made that choice very, very early that I was going to go to MagicCon as more of a fan and enjoy the experience of MagicCon rather than a creator seemingly just hanging out with other creators, if that makes sense. Which isn't bad. I think that's a really, really good tool for creators to use. It's just not what I wanted to do at this MagicCon. I think it would be a lot cooler if there was just like a place that creators could just go hang out, chat a little bit, and then they could go do whatever. Or that's a place where creators can meet. And then fans don't have to feel awkward about walking up or like disturbing games, etc. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot with the whole Creator Central thing. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really good tool. I think for those that want to use it as creators to connect with other creators, awesome tool. I think it's a weird place to have people go to find the creators they want to talk to. I don't know. I didn't spend much time there. I wanted to meet a lot of the creators that I've connected with on the internet, but I did not want to go in there. If that makes any sense. I did not feel like I was, I don't know. This is my own social anxiety coming out here. I didn't feel worthy to go to the Creator Central. I was the ambassador for Aetherdrift, but I was not a creator for this event for whatever reason. So I was like, am I allowed to go to the Creator Central? Is who is or isn't allowed to go to the Creator Central? Is there a certain number, a certain demographic of people I need to hit? So it was a very weird, interesting place. That's my whole shtick on it. I know there's people that commented on a few of my things saying they were looking for me in Creator Central. There's a lot of creators that messaged me like, dude, where were you all weekend? It's like, bro, I was downstairs playing Commander with the people in the yucky green light, and I had a blast. I had a really, really good time. Playing with just hanging out with my friends or playing with randoms that I found downstairs. I had a blast doing that. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Next con, Las Vegas Con, if I'm able to go, will I change some of that? Perhaps. Maybe I'll spend some more time with creators. Maybe I'll be more intentional about how I use my time at said con. So we'll see. I don't know. A lot of things are up in the air for what I want to do for Las Vegas Con. If I'm able to go to Las Vegas Con, I'll have a 2-month-old by the time that Las Vegas Con comes around. So we're gonna kind of find out if my wife is okay with me leaving for that. I do have a lot of family now living here, so we might be okay. but we'll see. I don't know. I'm nervous about Las Vegas Con not being able to go. I more than likely will not be able to go to Atlanta Con because I coach football and it's right at the end of our football season. If I can make it out for a day, I will make it out for a day because usually we have that like Saturday open. And if there's any other cons I should go to, I want to go to some cons. My goal this whole year was 5 cons. It might be down to 3 now that we're already at the end of February, but we got 1 down. 1 con down. Hopefully Las Vegas. My whole plan to get 5 cons changed once we found out my wife was pregnant. We're gonna have a kid in May, so that whole idea has kind of shifted. We are doing a TCG con in Minneapolis. That is end of April or early March. No, end of March or early April. So we would go into that in Minneapolis. It's a TCG only con. It's more like a seller's market, but we're gonna go to that. Me and a couple friends, so that should be good. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. MagicCon was a trip. It was a lot of fun. I would recommend going to MagicCons if you can go to MagicCons. I would recommend saving money. I would also recommend going with a group because the people I went with I had never met in person, and they were awesome to meet in person, and I had a great time with them. Best friends for life. So yeah, I have not ate anything today. All I've done, and this is not a sponsor, but I want them to be, Fairlife milk. That's all I've had today. I'm gonna send that clip to Fairlife. I need the sponsor, Fairlife. I drink too much of this. This chocolate milk. Oh, okay. I'll get into the story. This will be the last story. I'll get into this. Every day we went to Waffles Chicago, which was I don't know, 6 to 8 blocks away from our Airbnb. Every day we went there. The final day after our karaoke trip the night before, we went there and I sat down and I go, chocolate milk sounds really good. You know, I go, chocolate milk kind of sounds amazing right now. And then 3 or 4 others at the table go, you're right, chocolate milk does sound amazing. So I ordered it. A couple other people ordered it. We all had it, and it was a magical experience. And this is me. I didn't know it was Fairlife. Okay. I'm not diagnosed lactose intolerant, but it does mess me up. But I was ready. I was ready to risk it for the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care. Lactose me up. I'll suffer for it later. I don't care. Risk it for the biscuit. I want some chocolate milk. I'm here for the chalky milk. Give me some chocolate milk. I don't care if it's lactose. Whatever. So we get our chocolate milk. We down it. Chug it. Done. We order more. We all, 2 or 3 of us all get another cup of chocolate milk. Okay? As one does. Because it was only like an 8-ounce cup. Of course we need more chocolate milk. We get more chocolate milk. The lady goes, you know what, I'm just gonna fill up one of those, like the water jars for you guys. We're like, you know, that's a good idea. We're kind of down on this chocolate milk. You know what she does? She just hands us this. An entire carton of chocolate milk. It was a magical experience. I've never had that happen. Unopened even. We had to crack the top. It was fresh Fairlife chocolate milk at Waffles. It was incredible. Incredible move by them. I think it cost us $9. We got the bill, and it was $15 for the cups of chocolate milk that we got, and then they put this on as $9. So we got a $9 Fairlife chocolate milk. What are these? 2 quarts, 52 fluid ounces for $9, which, you know, is not a terrible upcharge. It was magical. It felt like a milk hack. You could just get a whole milk hack of these. Incredible experience. That was that was the peak of that morning, especially coming off of the karaoke the night before. But that was great. That was awesome. I get all the milk you want. So there you go. Waffles, Chicago. God bless you. It was incredible. Would go to every time. If we go to Chicago again next year, which we'll see. Chicago makes sense. I don't know how other people feel. Chicago just makes sense. It's fairly central for the Midwestern area. It's really, really fast to get to. There's enough hotels for everyone. Hotels, Airbnbs, etc. So Chicago might just be where they go all the time. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. Which I think I covered everything. It was a lot of fun. MagicCon Chicago was a blast. I hope to make it out to Las Vegas Con. I hope if you're able to go to Las Vegas, hit me up. Hit me up. And if you see me, I did get this message too, quite a few times where people were like scared to say hi to me. I'm just a guy. We are not famous. Like, we have some followers on TikTok and Instagram, and that's it. Like, I'm just a dude. So yeah, say hi to me if we ever see me in person. That would be really cool. It makes my day if you just say hi to me. I'm just a dude. I ran into the Kenji dude. Had no idea the guy had 144,000 followers. It's okay. It's okay. Just chat it up. Okay, I'm gonna leave you all with that. I'm gonna go eat some actual food, not just Fairlife chocolate milk. Sponsor me. Please sponsor me. All right, love you guys.